Hi, Whitney Klein here. Today I had the privilege of being on Socially Savvy to discuss how to host successful online vendor events. Be sure to like and subscribe for tips on beauty and business.
So Whitney, thank you again so much for being with all of us today and really being the expert on these Facebook virtual vendor events. So let's kick it off. I want to know, tell us and everybody here today a little bit about how you started your Avon journey, specifically on social.
I actually started a customer group the very first day I joined, that night actually, and I just started inviting some friends. Posted every single day since. I think I'm on year 4. How long have I been doing this? 4 years. But I post every single day, and I make it like a little community there. So that's how I started with a customer group.
I love that. And I think, there's so many different ways you can start. And a customer group on Facebook is one of the best ways to start, honestly. And so, kind of jumping off of that question, what is your most used platform, do you think, for social?
Facebook.
Okay, Facebook. Yeah. And Facebook, again, great. You can have so many different, pages, groups, personal pages, anything like that, business pages. So
Absolutely.
yes. And so, Whitney, we're here today to talk about these amazing vendor events that you explained to me and that sound so amazing and that have brought you success. So can you explain just overall what a Facebook vendor event is for those of us who don't know?
Sure, it's just like an in-person vendor event. So you can have several different vendors from different companies, and it's all online. So I do it through like a customer group. So it's a group, but it's a bunch of different vendors that are all showcasing their products during the same time period.
I love it. That's amazing. And so tell us, how did you think of these vendor events?
I'm always looking for new ways to grow my business. I mean, I want to go to Hawaii. I earned the trip to the DR that I'm hoping to go to in November. I'm always looking to grow, always looking for new ideas. And was invited to be a vendor on an online vendor event on Facebook. And I thought it went really well. And I thought, you know what, why can't I just host them myself? Just do it myself.
Absolutely. I mean, why not? And also, you're trying new things, you're growing your business. It's amazing. So I want you to definitely walk us through the process of establishing these events. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to walk through these together so you guys can see how easy and how amazing, these events can actually be. So let's start with step 1. Whitney, tell us, how can you find your vendors?
It is so easy to find vendors. I mean, I always say that we should join groups on Facebook with like-minded individuals. I'm a mom of 4, so I'm in a mom connection group. I like yoga, so I'm in a yoga group. I do direct selling. I'm in a direct selling group. So I think it's a great idea to go into either your personal page or one of these groups and just say, I'm going to host an online vendor event. Who would like to join? And Michaela Saraduke, my roomie on here who commented earlier, she did this last week. She posted it in a mom group and she went to bed and she woke up. She had 53, 54 people that commented and said they wanted to be part of this. So easy.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. And again, when we are walking through these steps, I just want to kind of plug, Whitney has an amazing blog called Embracing the Curls, and you can actually go and see all of these steps written out on her blog under how to host successful online vendor events. So this was step 1, finding your vendors. And let's go to step 2, scheduling your event and creating a group. So Whitney, tell us more about this.
Before I go to this one, I just want to call out, when I do my vendors and pick the vendors, I want to make sure I don't have competing vendors. So I wouldn't have anybody that is super close to what we do, direct competition, and the same for them. I don't want someone I don't want to have several jewelry. So that way we're not in competition. So that I make sure it's collaboration over competition.
Yes.
Yeah, for scheduling your event, I always want to make sure that I'm not doing it around a holiday, because everyone's social media habits change around a holiday. If you're doing it on spring break or Easter weekend or Mother's Day, people probably aren't even on social media. So your event is not going to go well. And then creating the group, it's super easy. I just do it just like you would create any customer group or any fun event on Facebook. You just go to create group and then follow the steps. Facebook literally walks you right through it.
Absolutely. And I love what you said there, collaboration over competition. Of course, you want to make sure, that you are, the one selling the most unique products there. So there is more of that collaboration, which I love so much. So, okay, step 2. So we found our vendors, we scheduled our event, and now we created a group for that event. And Whitney, just tell me right here. So we blurred out some of your vendors on here, but tell me, you create these little posters and you post them into the groups. Tell me a little bit about that.
I go into Canva, I get a blank poster, and I ask everyone to send me their logo. So I'm not creating any logos at all. They send me whatever logo that they can use to their company, and I just drag and paste onto this vendor event, make sure everything squeezes in, and then I name it, add a date, and then we have a graphic for the event. And I ask everyone, all of the vendors, to share that graphic when they invite people in the group.
Absolutely. Getting the word out and using Canva as your tool to really create just a nice graphic so everyone knows who's showing up to the event and who they can shop from. So let's go to step 3.
I see lots of questions on here.
Oh.
Like, do I answer them now or what?
Well, let's open the chat. So let me see who is asking some questions. So first, let's say, how long does the event last?
So that goes along into step 3 with planning the event. I love doing Thursday to Sunday. A lot of people get paid on Thursdays and Fridays, so they're having that income coming in, and you're kicking off the weekend events. A lot of people are on social media on Thursdays, and late Friday night, there's a lot of interaction late Friday nights as well. So those are perfect days to schedule, and you want to give it a short time frame. If you run it too long, people lose interest.
Absolutely. And next question, do you create a new group for each event?
Yes, because we will have new vendors and new community, because each vendor is going to bring in their own people, their own customers. So it's going to be a different customer base, different audience each vendor event.
Amazing. Okay, let's see. All right, let's keep going. So I see, like we talked about, step 3, planning your event. So like you said, you like to plan your event not around holidays because you think social media habits change, and you like to plan them kind of short to keep it concise and keep everybody interested.
Yes, and then I've done several options with these events where I've scheduled everyone, Avon is going to post from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and break it down that way, and just so it's more organized. And then I've done a free-for-all. I can say that after my past few events, I definitely prefer the scheduled, because you will have some people that schedule 10 times an hour, and then the group gets overloaded and bogged down. So I like nice order, organized.
Yes. And I see a few questions in here about, advertising for Avon and legal. So you want to make sure that you are always referencing the policies that are on your Avon now, the policies and procedures, everything that has to do with advertisement, social posting, and getting your name out about Avon, because you will be promoting your online store. So make sure you're reading those policies so that you are following all of those procedures and all of those legal ins and outs that we have here. And I think I saw one more question, which we're going to get into. So I have a question here. Do you do it for free? But we're going to get into that in a later slide. So step 4, promoting the event. So tell us, how do you promote your event?
So we have each of the vendors share the graphic and the customer group. So I do about 15, 16 vendors each event. So each of the vendors are going to share that graphic. And I also make another one that doesn't have any of the companies on it. Just, I think the last one was spring shopping and the date. and that they can share as well with a cute little graphic I got on Canva. But just getting the word out, inviting people. I will reach out personally to friends, to my customer base. Hey, I'm doing this event. I'd love for you to join. I love to invite you. It's always good to have what I like to call, a hype girl in there. I'll reach out to Emily Stevens, like, hey, doing this event. Can you go in there and just comment on things? And my favorite is when Emily and I act like we don't know each other in these groups. It's so fun. She'll ask me about Avon products. It's so much fun. But it's good to have somebody in there that is helping you, with the interaction, but just sharing the graphics and sharing the group and inviting is great. And we also do, leading up to the event, we'll do just an interactive post on there. And we might add someone into a drawing for inviting people to the group. Make sure you turn on your notifications for the group, and everyone who turns on their notifications comment, and we'll enter you into a drawing just to kind of get people excited for the event.
Absolutely. And so, we're going into step 5, but while you're promoting the event, step 5, you want to create engagement in your group, because community engagement and interactions is so important on social. And we always talk about this on Staying Socially Savvy. You want to create those authentic relationships with engagement. So tell us more about this.
So engaging with everyone. Earlier, I mentioned that it's collaboration over competition. When I first started these vendor events, I looked at like these other vendors as if they were competition. And I did not interact with them because I'm not trying to get them sales, I'm trying to get me sales. And I looked at it as if I commented or interacted with them, I'm helping their business. What finally clicked in my head is these people can be my customers as well. I have Kachina. They may have jewelry. I also have jewelry, but I also have makeup and skincare. And I started looking at them as customers. And also we're doing the same things in different companies. Avon kind of kicked it off. They are able to do these other direct businesses because Avon started it all. So we're all doing the same things, different companies. So instead of competition, we are collaborating. So that creates a sense of community in the group, which I will interact on their post, which will make them connect with me and interact on my post as well. So we want to make it a fun, connective group. And then as far as engagement, not just connecting with each other, I like to do fun little interactive posts, just, what's your favorite color? Just something to get engagement going in the group. So it shows up on the Facebook algorithm.
Absolutely. And I see Emily Stevens in the chat right now saying sometimes the vendors are your best customers too, which is so true. And so speaking of, creating engaging content, let's look at these 2 pieces of content that Whitney has created and puts into these groups. So tell me a little bit about the first one here, about what's your biggest hair concern.
I always do well with hair care in these vendor events. I am creating a value for these people. All of them have hair. And all of us have an issue, whether we have frizzy hair, thinning hair, damaged hair. So I start with, what's your biggest hair care concern? And then throughout that day, they'll comment with the color of the heart. And throughout the day, I will post solutions. So the thinning solution, Dr. Groot. Frizzy, I do Chi, damage, Elastine, Propylethera, and I cover everything. And then usually I will sell several different hair care products because I have created a value and met a need that they have.
Absolutely.
So we're doing an engagement post, and I am selling and providing, I'm helping them.
Absolutely. And you're doing it in such a fun and creative way. And again, you can use Canva to create these images. And I love the one you have here of you and she. You're in this photo, you're showing that you have the products, you probably use the products, and you probably love the products. And again, you're giving us all of the key ingredients, the solutions, what's in here, what, makes this product different from others on the market. And tell me a little bit about this. So do you normally start with hair care? Is that your, entry into these groups?
Normally I start with me. I share my why I do this. I love to share my family because I have 4 kids. They're my why. They're the reason I do this. It's provided groceries and braces for my oldest. I love sharing that one. And then car payments and just building that connection up front, that you're not just shopping on some random website. You're shopping with me, a mom of 4 who loves helping other women succeed and build their own businesses.
Absolutely. And I love that because that is your authentic self. It really is. And that's the best way to start off in any group. So amazing. And so, the event happens, people are shopping, people are loving everything. And so, step 6, when the event is over, how do you thank your vendors and your customers? What is that follow-up?
I have a separate Facebook Messenger group for all of the vendors. So I go through and I thank everyone for participating in the personal or in the private message with all the vendors. And more than 9 times out of 10, these vendors are going to want to do another event. Since I've led the event, they feel connected with me, and it is so easy to be part of the event. It's a lot more work to create the event. So I've got that connection with them as well. I thank them so much. And then customers, I will reach out to, they've shopped on my online store through the vendor event. So I've got their information. Thank you cards are great. Personal messages are great because a lot of times they have messaged me or commented online. And then I'm also, because they've shopped with me online, now they are attached to my online store, and Avon is doing the work for me and sending out emails and promotions.
I love it. Absolutely. And so tell me a little bit more about, the success that you have found with these vendor events.
Sales are always a great success. I think my biggest one, I had $500 in award sales for a weekend. But my biggest success, I will share, I've had team members, but Meredith Hayrich is one of my downlines. If you're in some of the groups like Timeless Beauty Lessons on Facebook, I have shared her success all over the place. She is a bronze ambassador. She just hit premiere Tuesday. And I met her in an online vendor event. She was a vendor for another company, and we made this connection. She's now one of my closest friends, and she joined to get a spin and curl, and it took her 6 months to actually get the spin and curl. She did it to get a discount, but now she's running online vendor events. She's created an online vendor group, so she picks vendors out of there, and she's super successful with these vendor events. So she would be my favorite success.
I love it so much. And also, we have a few questions here in the chat. I love this. Need that post, all the feels. I'd love to be an observer. So here's another question. How do you deal with vendors who want to participate again, but you have chosen others for a specific event?
You thank them for their interest, and then keep their name down for a different event for the following event. So maybe you have them for the June event, and then they skip July, and then you do them again in August, because you do want to keep switching out the vendors so you don't have the same audience and same customer group each time. You want to grow that warm list.
Yes. I love Emily wrote, can't wait to have you join us next time. Absolutely.
The best at those. Can't wait to see you next time.
I love it so much. And so also, can you tell us, and I love how, your posts had so much information about the products, and also, even the posts that didn't and just asked that question, you were able to follow up with an answer, with a solution and a product from Avon that would help. So tell me, what do you utilize from Avon to help build your business? Trainings, one-pagers, resources, what do you use?
I love trainings like this. I'm a skincare junkie. I love Janine's trainings. I feel like I've tried every skincare product there is. I may be a little bit addicted to all of them. I also love using the digital try-on tool. That's amazing. I've sold lipsticks and products. I just record myself, do a screen record of me trying on the shades, and then post it in the group along with the link for them to click and try on products as well.
I love it. Let's see. Donna is asking, what's the name of the blog? Whitney, go ahead.
It is embracingthecurls.com.
Love it. Okay. And so as a very socially savvy representative, how do you brand yourself on social? That was a great segue question.
I am my true authentic self on there. I actually created Embracing the Curls from the Elastane Prolifera product. I have I've always straightened my hair. I spent my whole life feeling like my hair was a hot mess and I hated the way it looked. It was frizzy and awful and gross. And I started using these new Avon hair care products and my hair was like it came to life. It's a little wet right now, but I mean, when it dries, it's a gorgeous curl. But I thought it was me this whole time and I was just using the wrong products. So I started this brand of embracing who you are, embracing who I am one curl at a time, and just kind of leaning more into who you are. Like Sally Hogshead said, be more of who you are and lean into it, because we are all different and unique and we want to stand out. And if we're just all trying to be the same person, then we just kind of fall into this little box. So get out of the box.
There you go. I love it. And, our last question before we get into some housekeeping items here. So what is a tip or a piece of advice or something that you would, tell to a representative or just someone who's interested in Avon and interested in building their business?
Just be yourself. Don't be afraid to look stupid. I mean, I've done some posts and stuff. I'm like, that's probably the dumbest thing I've ever done, but I do it anyway. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get on social media. So just be yourself and be genuine, be authentic, and build relationships. I look at social media networking as if you would go into an in-person event, you wouldn't just walk up and show, here's a picture of all the lipsticks I have and walk away. You would go in and introduce yourself. So you have to do that on social media too, to genuinely connect with others and network.
Absolutely. Whitney, that was amazing. Your tips I feel like I'm going to go and do my own vendor event. I can.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. Be sure to like and subscribe for tips and tricks on beauty and business, and head over to embracingthecurls.com for more.